They would prefer it, but I don't know if like.
Yeah. Also, I think I only have 3 zeros. So I'm a little dyslexic in numbers, so just do your best. Like if they can't figure us out,
It gets 4.
okay.
It's mostly, it's not really like tracking you specifically. They just want to know like how many people were at each.
Hi guys, can you hear me online?
It's
Yes.
Okay.
That's
Yes.
Thank you.
I just got here. Hi Tat. Hi Anna. Hi David. Hi Karen. Hi Jeanette. I just got here. I went to the wrong room. I'm gonna load up my little
I
slideshow.
was not in California at that point.
Elena, we need that.
I am 2 zeros.
No, I love my purple. I'm so glad you like kind of pushed me to do purple.
Oh my God, waited so fast.
It was just out there. Yeah, walking. So I don't know how.
You already sent out the.
Speed Demon Ellis.
I have to sign into this.
See how old you
Beck and I are the only one. No.
Oh no, I forgot my.
83 years old.
Oh, yeah.
Or this one.
Or if you go to Banner, you go to Banner. This is right there.
Got all our marbles?
Copy to my notes.
really smart. She's a lot smarter than I.
Dude.
You told me not to. You don't have to. I
I'm
found it and I was like, I'll go ahead and
Got it? Just keep on doing stuff and don't get sick, don't fall down.
Yeah, I think. And stay with and be around people. We have to be around people, James.
Not TV.
And we can't isolate. If you isolate, it gets way worse.
Yeah.
So, okay, we need to be around. I kind of like to isolate sometimes, but
Elena, can I grab?
It's like that me time.
go ahead, grab them. I'm trying to remember my Gmail password real quick. No worries. Just.
And then speaking of birthdays, my birthday is in 2 days. We'll get excited
Yeah,
about
I'm not big on
birthdays, like I did when I was a kid. I guess I'm just.
Jane Sierra,
I'm Denise.
Denise,
Yes, nice to meet
and I am the physical science department. I teach.
I'm a weirdo. I don't like.
Oh, I've always loved physical science. Both of them
Yeah.
good at science.
Do you think it?
I think it is.
Most people say that they ran away from it in here, so.
Okay, let me sign in a different way.
Uh-huh.
For,
Let's get ready.
class.
Right, and using my passkey. Let's try that.
I really enjoyed.
Try another one.
I like the way he teaches.
Oh, yeah, you told Serena you.
But my family, yeah.
Oh,
He retired around 2018, I would say.
It's me. It's me. It's a me. All right, there. I think I got in. It's freezing, isn't it?
So.
Fingers cold.
Okay.
You feel your feet.
and our theme is, that I have for my class is writing across the curriculum, so we do look at a little bit science and
That's
how.
good.
I'm fascinated with.
Oh, I'm in humanities.
My upper for
Humanities.
students are a little bit
It's
further along.
on the other side
Never
of C.
It's not in our course.
The idea of an abstract is
Confirm.
a preview to what they're about to read.
Yeah, that's what I tell them. I give you like a preview. That's exactly what I tell them. Give you overall.
Number line. Let's try that. I don't know if that's a backup.
How the conclusion was met.
Like
No,
75.
sorry.
Yeah, get a verification.
Yeah,
Yeah, they have all kinds of challenges.
more than what our.
Okay.
Yeah.
Parents them. Years, or hopefully they become juniors.
Yeah, I've had.
Continue.
Was my courses majoring in.
DE cohort 3, right?
Right.
Did you fill out the
They
compensation?
usually have to write briefs, which are.
And then I'm just gonna go to the slides real quick.
There was something I filled out, at the beginning.
Was this the Google Slides or was it the Canvas like little about you survey?
Miss Tad should.
Where they write about.
Yeah, something like that, because then I had the option of either doing as main or as flex.
So you did, it wasn't a Canvas survey, it was like a separate,
I think it was a separate thing.
I'm gonna share my screen.
and you had to like pick what cohort you.
I'd
Alright.
like to learn how to
I think
design.
so, it was
Maybe it's.
part of the class.
Can you guys see it online?
Like it's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Awesome. Yeah, I went to the wrong building.
I
I
don't.
Still skipped it.
Okay,
I don't
anybody
know.
want a muffin?
You're seeing good advice here.
Tiny blueberry muffin. Okay. Yeah, see, I knew it. Carbs and coffee, it's the way to go. I mean, I know it's not that healthy, but I know. I'm not the best, but I like it.
Where the course started?
All right, you guys ready? I think I'm finally ready. Emily's coming because she did the same thing, I think. Hi.
Hi, Jan, how are you?
Wow, what a great group.
I know. It's warm in here. Thank you for
Yes.
sitting on the heat.
Yes, yeah, oh, well, it wasn't me, but I'll take the credit.
You should.
Are you, everything's okay on Zoom?
Yes, I didn't have Tat to help me this time, but I figured it out.
Okay, great, and they can hear you?
Yeah, they say they can hear me.
Perfect, all right.
All right, thank you so much, Dan. Thank you for checking on me, because you know I've been have issues.
May I make a change before you get started?
That's my friend, make a change. James is going to make a change. I don't like it either, thank you. I'll run into it, let's put it, but yeah. I don't like those things. I end up fidgeting and then I throw it around. Or run into it. All right, so have you guys ever seen the Clint Eastwood movie, The Good, the Bad, the Ugly? Okay, it's kind of an older goodie, old one, but a good one. My dad watched a lot of Clint Eastwood, so as soon as I thought of multiple choice, I thought, ugh, The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. So I thought this would be a good workshop, so I'm gonna tell you a little bit about kind of the reasoning why I chose this topic. Okay, so we are subject matter experts, right? And by the way, my name is Milena, if you don't know me. That's me, Milena. And we know a lot about our specific fields. So I know, math, we got chemistry. What do you teach? Chemistry.
English.
English, good. And then more about, okay. Wait, Sarah, what are you? Psychology. Good, okay. So do you use multiple choice questions on your exams? How many of you use them? Okay, chemistry does use them? I just don't remember from college us having them. Okay, math is using them too.
Well, I'm in astronomy, actually.
That's right. I always think of you as a math person though. I don't know why. You get that because you're budget committee. In my head, you're always budget committee. Yes, do you use it in
I
English?
use some, not a whole lot, but I do want them to leave knowing the basics, like what a topic sentence is, a main idea, and
Perfect. So you can say like, what is a blah, 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 blah. Okay. So, yeah, so I got humbled, which is good. Like humbling doesn't have to be like, whoa, an awful, horrific, humiliating event. It can just be, oh, I didn't know I was making mistakes. And now I can learn from mistakes. Okay. So I've been writing multiple choice for a long time. And, I read this book over the break, and maybe the way I've been formatting the questions hasn't been the best for the students, right? So I'm just going to go over kind of a few things about it, like tips, guidelines for writing good questions, some bad question examples. I'm going to have you guys kind of interact with me and tell me if you think it's good, bad, or ugly. You can tell me if it's ugly. I think some of the questions are ugly. Okay. And then at the end, I'm going to give you some examples of like ways you can write them. Okay. Now online, there's all these new gimmicks. You can go to Khan Academy now. You can go to all these websites and have them write multiple choice questions for you. Still dangerous. You can have AI write multiple choice questions for you. Okay. Why is it still, I think this will still be helpful. I hope it will be helpful for you because when they give you the multiple choice questions, they're still not following these good guidelines that I just learned. Right? So we become professors, but we're never trained in item writing, are we? We're never trained in how to write a good multiple choice question. We're just the experts. So what I want to go over is kind of a training on item writing and how to write a good question. It seems common sense, and a lot of you that are probably English or just very common sense people probably do these things, okay? So, but I was like, oh God, I don't do that. Oh, that would be considered tricky, right? And for years, my students are like, that's a tricky question. I'm like, I thought it was a good question. But is it testing what I think it's testing, which is the construct, right? Or am I actually just panicking them? And are the ones that are getting the right answer really good at just test taking, right? To get around to the answer. So how did I get on this? So I took a course on it, and that's when I had the aha moment. So they asked us to take some of our own data and basically look at, our class and or are the questions that we're using on our exams actually good? Okay, how do we do that? We have to use statistics. Okay, so I did this in, fall 2025. I wanted to see if they were learning chemistry, the metabolism that we cover in biology, which is a lot the same for anatomy and general bio. Okay, so I looked at I think it was 18 questions. Okay, so it was question 23 to 40 on my first exam, just one section of microbiology, okay? And this is just showing how many people got it correct. Okay, so then I converted it to percent correct. So you can see I'm going for what? What percent do we kind of want to go for that we feel good about them passing? What's the percent we always go for?
70-ish.
70, okay. So then I looked at, okay, anything below 70, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna do a deep dive on these questions. Okay, is the question reliable? We're gonna talk about reliability. Is it valid? Meaning, is it actually testing the construct, which here is metabolism? Okay, so I taught them about metabolism for like 2 lectures. And then obviously I have people failing on question 27, 29, 30, 31, you know, so that's when I was like, let's go check it out. Okay, so we're good so far? Okay, here we go, statistics. Okay, so I did a discrimination D. Here, let me move this sidebar. Okay, so let's move this. How do we do this? Down there? Here? Over? I don't know.
Let it go.
Let it go. Okay. Let it go. All right, so I did a discrimination D. So basically I took the 3 questions that had a very low pass rate. And I looked at this statistic, which is going to indicate how well the item discriminates between the high scoring people versus the low scoring people. And usually you want a number that's at least like I didn't make it. I think it's 0.3. So I got 0.14, 0.14, 0.14. So what are we learning here? Uh-oh, these questions aren't very good. It means my high scoring students aren't really doing well on this question, right? And my low scoring might be doing well. So it's really not, it's not discriminating well between high and low scoring students. So that's not good. Okay. Oh, here I put it, 0.3, yeah. So those questions are lower. Item total correlation. Does that question item correlate to what they got their final grade on that exam? And once again, we're kind of going for anything higher than 0.3, right? And so question 25 is looking okay, but 26 and 38 are looking like, uh-oh, they could miss that question, but then do better on the exam, right? So it's not correlating with with how they're doing on the exam. So I took a deep dive on those questions, and yeah, one of them was confusing, 38. And I'm gonna toss it from that exam now. Okay, are we gonna do this on every exam we ever give? Do you guys do this on every exam you ever give? Probably not, right? This was my most, how do I want to say it? Exam 1 is like my most straightforward exam, right? My harder questions and the ones that I think are good are probably my final. My final questions, I think I really need to do this on my final because I think I will have a lot of questions that I'm probably going to throw because they're, you know, they're not clear. Maybe there's the discriminate, like 2 answers are very close. Okay, so this was kind of my humbling moment, right? I didn't feel that bad though, because let me move this. Okay, because I did a Chromebox Alpha. This was good. This means out of all of those questions, I am basically measuring the construct of metabolism. I'm at a 74%, okay? So that means 70% of the time on this test, I am measuring metabolism. Only 36% of the time is it error, standard like error. So, hey, I don't feel that bad, okay? I feel okay. But I'm telling you, if I did this for my final, I think my numbers would be very different. I'm showing you, you know what I mean? I feel like I should take a deep dive on my test, my exam 4. Okay, so just showing you guys this. Do you have anything kind of popping up in your head of like a certain exam that your students like struggle on? And that this might be helpful on doing data, a little bit of statistical data to see, you know, are there multiple choice questions that might be vague or maybe not testing what they're supposed to be testing? So just think about it because keep your mind open, right? Because we're not perfect, we make mistakes, right? So, but the other thing is I do make mistakes on exams because I rewrite them. Not every semester. Now, last semester was tough. On tough semesters, when I have a lot going on, I just redo, you know, I'll just take an old exam and be like, listen, you're gonna get that because I have no time to kind of tweak stuff, right? We all have semesters like that, but some semesters, especially during the pandemic, I rewrote every exam because of the cheating, right? So just putting it out there. You look quizzical. Do you have a question, Nick? Quizzical.
How are they, I guess with the alpha, how are they actually measuring that?
It's a big, so I can't remember the exact formula, but I get the mean, and then I do the standard error of it, and I divide by, it's a big equation that I'm using in Excel. I can send it to you though. And then you can put in, so you put if they got the answers right, and then you have to copy and paste certain, formulas in there, and then I get my Chromebox Alpha though. So so basically the instructor that was teaching us how to do this test, he made a video of it, a 10-minute video, and we just followed along with our data. So that's how I got my Chrome. It's math. You would do it probably within 5 minutes. Less. I was like 20 minutes in. Okay. And I'm all right with math, But okay, so that's just showing you like how I started thinking about this. I was like, oh, am I testing what I think I'm testing? Okay, so I want to go over writing multiple choice questions. How do you plan your exam? I'm going to give you, basically, these are based on a book I read, which I have at the references, Thomas Halladina, Evaluating and Validating Multiple Choice Questions. Okay, so this is from his book, General Guidelines, and he's written like 25 papers on this. So his whole career has been in assessments and statistical assessments of these types of questions. So he also goes over, constructive response and a lot of other types. Yeah,
What's the name of the book again?
I know, I have it.
Or the author?
Halladina. Here, let me get you, here it is. So I'm a little cheap. I go online. I don't like buying books. I have so many books at home. So what I do is I go online and I find the PDF of a free one, and then I put it into my Kindle. I put it in my Kindle or my Everend or my Script. This was Script. And then I can read it for free. Now, he has a newer edition, 2014, and it's him, Thomas Halladina, and Michael Rodriguez. There is a newer edition. Okay, I know this is 20 years old, but he's been doing this work for at least 30 years. So Thomas Halladina. Okay, so this is from him, and then I also have another book I'm going to reference at the end, which is on specifically healthcare assessments, because I teach health science, so. Okay, so I'm going to go over general guidelines for good multiple choice questions. The question stem, how you write the question stem is super important. How you write the answer options, super important, especially we have an English professor here. Grammar. You don't keep the same grammar. If you don't have it in the right grammar, they immediately are thrown off. Okay, grammar is not my strong suit. Really isn't. Common flaws, that's going to be the bad, the ugly. And then making question sets. But there are online websites you can go to, but just be careful if you get stuff or from AI, make sure you still check it against these guidelines. Okay, so first thing, when you guys are making an exam, what do you do? I mean, it's hard because we've taught for a while. I think this would be helpful for like new faculty, but what do you guys do when you bring up you need to kind of revamp an exam? How do you think about it?
Well, look at, first of all, the outcomes. What do I have for my SLO? What do I have in my course objective? And then that's what I start off with first.
Yeah.
That also helped me when I was looking through old questions. It's like, well, this really doesn't apply to the SLO. So when we were doing that way back when.
Yep.
So that helped.
Yeah, and like how many questions you're going to do of this type, right?
Right.
How many of this type? Are you going to do recall? How many do you do strict memorization? Just recall, like definition. I don't do that many. I know, how many you guys do?
like I do like a mixture just to kind of,
Even out the hardness?
yeah, not make every single question really hard, but also just like, do they even know the basics? Am I assuming too much?
Right, because she's teaching like intro. This is sometimes their first biology course. So yeah, recall, you have to have those kind of, in there a little bit, right? You the same for chemistry?
Well, if there's a prerequisite for the course, then
You assume they know it.
I assume they know the prerequisite course knowledge to some level.
I know, right? I know.
Okay, so chemical formulas or chemical names,
Mhm.
and build chemical formulas.
Yeah.
So now
That's, yeah.
that seems fair.
It's
but-
fair.
But maybe not, because if you're trying to test one type of concept, like converting converting mass into moles, and you give them the name of the formula, then they have two steps. They have to figure out and discern the formula as a chemical, the name as a chemical formula. And then 3 steps. Then they actually have to determine the molecular weight, and then they have to use the molecular weight as a conversion factor to go from mass to moles. So that's 3 concepts
Right.
all in one problem.
But you're doing multiple choice on that?
But if I do multiple choice,
You done?
I will give them the molecular weight. People in my department will tell me that that is the absolute wrong thing to do. We tell this guy who is a Mode A faculty not to do that.
You done did that. What's your name?
All there.
That's right. I'll dare?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. I'll dare you to do it. I had to do it. So don't do it though. Okay, so you are using, yeah, you can use these as critical thinking. You can absolutely, but you don't want to make them too complex. So it's a balancing act. So I think I've made mine too complex. This is what I've learned from my questions. I need to dial it back a little, be a little clearer on my questions. You're pretty clear, James. So, and your chemistry is, but I've just realized I need to get my answers a little more aligned and my question very clear.
So going back to that first question,
Yeah.
is anyone on assessment?
Yeah, I used to be, she used
We
to.
do capital A assessment. We do not do lowercase a assessment here. So our assessments that are written in our slows are freaking useless. I'm just gonna say that right now.
Love it. Happy Monday.
Happy Monday.
Welcome back, people.
Course objectives, when writing them into a course, start to look like what I want as students to know. So looking back at those in order to build what's going to be on a test comes that.
Very
Yeah.
useful.
Very useful.
Yeah, lecture objectives and lab objectives, yes.
What did I write in my course outline when I was thinking of this, the stupid unit? What I was going to do if I was going to do 2 chapters? I go back and I look through that and I see what did I emphasize? I go back and I map into the problems that are at the back of the book or the back of that chapter, and I try to match up in number. So I try to get the number of questions, the number of content to match somewhat what I covered.
Beautiful. That sounds very analytical and planned. Little Excel sheet for this or no?
Sometimes.
Okay, I know I'm nerding out. It sounds good. Okay, I don't do it. You know me, I'm a spontaneous thinker. I wing it.
And if I run out of time, I wing it, just like you.
Yeah, we wing it. We wing it sometimes. So that's beautiful though. I think that's probably better, right? Especially for new faculty, if they're not sure if they're hitting the things they're supposed to be hitting. But usually with new faculty, what do we do anyway? How did you guys start? What happened? How did you get your exams? Yeah.
Oh, I was just gonna say, I will say like some questions I developed myself, but I definitely like inherited
Me
a
too.
lot from mentors.
So that's the thing, like you don't have to take the whole responsibility for this because you were given questions that we thought were good. Okay. Like, and even publishers, I've edited for certain textbooks and now I'm looking at those questions. I'm like, that's not a good question. This is not following the guidelines. So publishers aren't following these guidelines. And we're getting the item banks from these publishers. Okay. So, or you inherit it from someone, your predecessor, right? Your mentor. Okay. So there's no blame here. It's just a matter of like, whoa. And then I want you guys to let me know, like, is it too far? I don't know if I agree with all of these guidelines we're going to go over. Okay. All right. Because I do like making kind of rigorous questions. All right. So this is a lot. All right. So first, general guidelines. Avoid window dressing. No, that doesn't mean you're getting dressed in front of the window. Okay, although I would avoid that as well. It means extra information. We shouldn't put a ton of extra information in the question, right? Just keep it simple, sweetheart. Use parallel construction. So the grammar, kind of you got to keep it the same, okay? Clarify, no trick questions. I'll go over what a trick question is, but I think you guys know. Test takers with limited English proficiency taking a test in English are run a greater risk of having an item format affect their performance. This is even true with like vocabulary. A lot of times I'll explain the term because if I didn't use it a lot, or even if I do use it a lot in class, I'll have a student that's like, what does this word mean? You know? Or the instructor, my OChem teacher, he wrote clever on an exam question and it threw me completely. I'm like, that's a clever mechanism? What the heck do you mean clever mechanism? It was a spelling error. He meant cleaver. But even then, is there a cleaver mechanism in OChem? Have you ever heard of it talk that way? Yeah. So it threw me completely. I had to go up to the professor and ask him, what do you mean clever mechanism? So I'm pretty bold. I'll go ask, but even then there's students that are shy. Are they going to ask? No. And then they've already missed the whole question, right? Okay. So simplify the vocabulary, minimize reading time. I'm guilty of this. On some of my lab practicals, I've had like a huge, 2-3 paragraphs of a case study, sometimes longer, and they have to, at the station, they read it, and then they answer like 5-6 questions about it. Ugh, that probably causes a lot of anxiety. And it is medical terminology they're reading, so I should probably minimize reading time, right? Because what are you actually testing? Are you testing the content or how well they're reading? Right? Are you testing the content or how well they know the term, So they do need to know the terms though. So I feel like there's a balancing, approach this with a balanced view. Don't go to either extreme, okay? Avoid trivial content. What does that mean? If I'm gonna have you guys, I'll show you an example, but like, do you know how much lactose is in a gallon of milk? Who cares? Yeah, that's trivial. I would rather you know that lactose is the sugar in milk. Okay, milk sugar. Okay, that's what I care about. So although I teach microbiology, so I do care about details, but I always let my students know, like, hey, I really care about this detail, right? So they say don't be too specific, and then don't be too general. But I would argue, since I am microbiology, I am very specific. But I let them know, you know what I mean? At least let them know you're looking for certain things. And then obviously grammar's huge, punctuation's huge, spelling, capitalization. All of this is really affecting them. Yeah, they think you're trying to trick them. They don't understand the question. All right, so does this make sense? And do you do most of this? Do you check your questions or have someone check them for you? Because I don't have anybody checking my questions, and I feel like I probably should. You know what I mean? I check like new faculty questions, but I told her, I was like, you know what? I need to send you my exam and you check mine because I'm not the best on this. Grammar. Okay?
Oftentimes, after the fact,
Yes.
we are passing questions amongst ourselves in the chemistry program.
Yeah.
Say, is this question asking what I think it is asking?
Yeah. You got to challenge it because it might not be, right?
And we do those reads.
You do. So you do it amongst each other?
We do it amongst each
I
other.
feel like we might need to set something up like that too. Even in our little, do you
Yeah.
split it up like general chem and then OChem or do you split it? Okay. I think it's a good idea. And you guys online can comment whenever you want to. Am I good to move on from this? I'm gonna have you guys participate. Yeah.
One thing last semester, I learned a lot from, like, I kind of had the questions broken down by category.
Perfect.
Like I had the first 5 multiple choice, by different academic fields, because we look at how writing is used in different fields. And I have questions like this, field in science uses this type of writing and so forth. And I had instructions above, like a kind of like an orientation like this. These first 5 questions will ask questions about certain fields, you select the correct field and something like that.
That's cool.
But I had a few students like skip the whole first 5
They
questions.
couldn't jump. They couldn't like critically think to that other area, right? So that's critical thinking, I think, when you can, because it's not exactly what you gave them, you're giving them a comparison, right? Like okay, now apply this to this. It's still the same. You still got to know the subject, the verb, but apply it to whatever this. I think that it's that jump. If they don't practice doing application questions, they're not going to be ready on the test to do an application question, in my opinion. Because I feel like I'm not that great on that either. You know what I mean?
I think what happened was they probably didn't read that section. Everyone
Okay.
else got it right. They got
Okay.
it right, but there was a few that just skipped the whole thing. And so I think like, they knew it, but they didn't read the top. So I wonder if maybe I could just say circle the correct answer or something.
Yeah, try it a different format or send it to another faculty member and have them look at it. Because I feel like getting eyes on these is going to help. Okay, so I need to get, mine are I think I have some ugly ones. I have some really ugly questions that I thought were good. Okay, which one's trivial? Which one's important content? Okay, important, right? the second one is the important one. This is trivial. What is this? Anybody know the nicotine content in a typical cigarette? Yeah, nobody cares. Okay. Unless you're trying to get off of nicotine, you know. Okay, how about this? Which one tests for understanding? The top one? Ooh, this will be you, your English. Which is the best definition of a metaphor, or which of the following is a metaphor? Any of you can answer this though.
Second one, because they can identify.
Yes, this is, and don't ask me to identify. This is the understanding. This would be called what? Recall, just definition, right? Okay. Yeah, I treat metaphors, similes, all the same. I'm so bad. This is why I don't teach English. Okay. All right. This gives you the answers. Okay. So this is an example of questions should only measure one construct and they should be independent of another question. So here we have a problem because the first question, based on this story from Stones from Ibarra, who was Lupe's best friend? Well, okay, great, it's Roxy, but then the next question is who was quarreling with Lupe? It's kind of based on this, like you kind of need to know if they're tied together. So we try not to make them, I know I have a little bit of a hard time with that as well, but it's a dependent item. Try to make each question independent unless you're doing like a vignette, like you do a little case study, then you can ask like 5 or 6 multiple choice questions from that one vignette on like one page. You know what I mean? 4 or 5, but try to make them independent. What's a trick question? Oh, okay. Melina, you're so tricky. Okay, writers, is it my intention to deceive them? No, but could I accidentally be doing it? Yeah. Did I represent trivial content? Maybe. For most of the time, I don't think so. But this is what I might have problematic. The discrimination among options was too fine. I always put it down to like, it could be 2 and then they need to know which one it is. I feel like this is, I don't know. What do you guys think? So you can't be too tricky with this though. That's the thing. Can't be too tricky. Don't have extra information. We went over that. You can't have multiple correct answers, right? Should just be one, unless it's going to be a test. I don't do those tests where that select all of the above or select all that apply. That's in nursing school and in other professional programs. But I don't do those here. You might, yeah, so your principle were presented in ways that were not learned, thus deceiving. I have a hard time with that too, because I'd like to present it a way, you know what I mean? And then can they apply it in a new situation? I feel like that, if we've practiced it, that's fair. Yeah. And then items were so ambiguous, even high scoring students did poorly. All right, absolutely. I have this happen. And a very fair thing to do. What do you guys do if they come up to you and they complain about a question and you can clearly see that it wasn't a good question? What do you guys do? I know what I do. I'll go, all right. They have to explain it in writing. Every person that got it wrong, they have to tell me why. I have them write it out. And then I usually do give them credit for it if it was poorly written on my end. Okay. But I set up the dialogue. I don't want them coming at me like a mob, but I have them write me call it a love note, but it's not a love note. It's because I don't like it when they, you know how they come at you, especially if you're wrong. They love being like, oh, because it's justified anger.
Nursing students.
Yeah.
So I feel that subpopulation of students,
It's tough.
they're on it,
They are on it.
and everyone that's made it to micro.
Yeah. They're on it. They are on it.
But in another context, putting that back to the student to do it, those who have low self-esteem.
It's true.
Might
When it's a really bad question, I just toss it for all.
not
I
argue.
make them work a little, James, like, cause they'll choose that one person that's louder. You write it up. I'll be like, all right, great. Yeah, you're right. And then I change it for everybody. Yeah. But it's a good way to, because we're not perfect and we change. I change my questions. And I make mistakes. Okay. Which format is better? Okay. I am guilty of this. I have done this before. I thought I was saving space. Which one do you think is better? Do you think this one or this one?
Lower. I like the bottom one.
Yeah. What do you think, Sarah? Yep. It's vertical. It's the bottom one. Why though? I'm like, why? Because don't we read left to right? So I was like, and I thought I was saving space. I don't do this anymore, but in the beginning, when I first started teaching, I would do these to save space. So this is better. Okay, try to write vertical option. This takes longer, so when
I do that to save space, especially like true or false questions.
they say it takes longer for them to read, and by then they're already kind of lost in the question. So it's reducing their time. Yeah, and I have a hard time with them. Like, really, that takes longer, but it takes longer than just vertically going down.
I also think if you do any like Canvas quizzes or anything, Canvas does it vertical. And so then it matches, like if you'd use your Canvas quizzes as like practice or something, then it kind of matches how they practiced with how they're being tested. I don't know.
So this was news to me. A lot of this is news to me. Okay, good, bad, or ugly. What do you guys think? First one is too freaking much. I don't even understand what the heck it means, people. I have tried reading it. I don't understand it. Sarah, James, if you guys can make it make sense, Nick, English lady, I don't understand it. Okay, it's too much. This is to the point. This is the better one. I actually don't even understand this. Yeah.
But should we not have a D option? Like, is it better to do A, B, C or A, B, C, D? I feel like E is too much.
Okay, yeah, I've always done 5. And from the books, these 2 books I read, they say you should have 3 that are wrong and 1 that's right. So you should have A, B, C, D. Okay, that's like yeah, A, B, C, D is good. I still like doing E, but here's the thing. We're going to find out that none of the above and all of the above are bad to do, which I've been using. So I might be able to take out my E. I don't know how much of this I'm going to adopt. I'm going to little by little look at my exams, but all of the aboves are bad. None of the above, and I even do 2 of the aboves. Okay. So I know Becca's looking at me like, ooh, what do you guys do? Do anybody do that? Select all the apply. Sometimes I'll do one of those.
Sometimes
I do a lot. I do 1 of the above, 2 of the above, none of the above, 3 of the above. Because I feel like they really, if they know it, I mean, there's always one very clear answer.
Yeah, so I know I like doing it too, Tat. But the thing, so they have a way we can get around that. We can do multiple like true false. I'll show you an example of a way around it.
Sounds
That's
good.
better in reliability on testing what you're testing. Want to test. All right, let's look at good question stems. Okay, we're not supposed to use a negative. Oh, Tat. So I have a lot of questions. Me too.
I do that
All the time. You're not supposed to use a negative. Now, here's the deal. I'm probably going to still use a few negatives, but if you use a negative, like all of the following, you're also not supposed to use all. You're not supposed to use anything that's never all. Okay. I'm going to balance, right? Balance. Okay. So if you're going to use not, you need to capitalize it and bold it, because what are the students doing on a test? They're reading really fast and they may not notice the not, right? Okay, so it doesn't matter how much you tell them to slow down, to dissect the test, to get into it. They're going to be panicking. I know. I have test anxiety too. So we're not supposed to use nots. So no negatives, or try to minimize them. Avoid repeating words in the stem, the question stem, with the answer key, because then students, what do they do if they say the same word in the question and in the answer? They think that one, you're cueing them. They think, oh, Milena wants me to answer this one. I'm like, I'm not doing anything like that. But they think that we're tricking them, okay? So avoid repeating words in the stem and the options. Eliminate absolute statements, right? Which of the following is always present? You know, which cell always has a nucleus? Do that. Which one never has a nucleus? Create lead-ins that end with a question mark, okay? To avoid grammatical cueing. Because if you don't put a question mark, then they're going to keep reading the question and they'll see the answers that line up with it the best. And they'll go, oh, that's the answer. Oh, I know. So it's a lot. Make the main statement in the stem. So don't make your main statement in any of the answer options. And I can share this Google slideshow with any of you guys as well, if you want it. And then questions should be clear and brief, obviously, but yeah. So these are the stems, just the question stems. Yeah, what do you think, Becca?
Well, what
I know.
about the nursing students that we have? They're definitely the T's that are probably going to use some of these types of questions. And you
I know.
kind of want to prepare them for
I know.
that. Especially like the select all that apply and things like that. They're going to get those types of questions.
I know. So I think I'm on the side, like maybe you don't do as many, we could compare to exams. I feel like I do a lot of this, maybe too much. So I definitely know I need to dial back a little bit. I'm not saying completely don't, well, I think I am saying that, don't do it, but, because they are gonna see some of these types on the questions, but I'm more like, am I actually testing them on what they know? And are they, is their exam score showing me what they know, or are they just getting confused? Yeah, so I'm a little worried about that reliability. Now, I won't know until I look at that's why the data helps. Do the statistical analysis on your tests. That should show you right there which questions you should be looking at in more detail. Do you know what I mean? Do that and then go from there. Go with the data. Go with the data. If you feel like they're very fair, because you guys know your tests, don't you know which ones are pretty fair? I'm like, test 1's very fair. Test 2, 3, 4. Ooh, I don't know. Yeah.
Question, how do you feel about, not really multiple choice, but ones where you fill in, the blank from the box?
Blankety blanks. Okay, they went off on that. Blankety blanks they don't like them, especially if they're at the beginning or in the middle. And mine are in the middle. I put ones in the middle. They say if you're gonna do a blankety blank, put it at the end. Yeah, blankety blanks.
I
Yeah.
mean, like there's a blank spot that they have to choose the best answer.
Yeah, like I'm like competitive inhibitors are bing, while non-competitive inhibitors are bing. So I like those. I do one of those on every exam.
I love fill.
I know. I know.
Any questions in the chat that keeps popping?
Yeah, okay, let me know, because I don't even see the chat. Where did
So
it?
if I click OK on that and then go all the way to the top,
Mama.
and there it is.
Good Lord. Yes, yes. Hi. Okay. Spanish does. David says Spanish. Okay, sorry. I've been really bad on the chat. Multiple choice as our national exam. Yeah. 140 questions. My gosh. Okay. All right. I do too. I've seen a comment. Okay. So I do yeah, but okay, great. Let me know if you see more stuff.
One
Cool.
more question about.
Now, what you got, Angela?
I
What's
think it was more just to clarify, I'm trying to remember what it was. It was, and like ending the question with a question mark.
Yeah.
So.
I don't do that.
Yeah, well, and I would say most of my questions probably end in a question mark, but some of them are like, which of the following answers completes this statement the best? So it's kind of like a fill in the blank, but it might be like multiple words instead. So it's like, I can't think of it.
That's probably, I feel like if they get the question, keep it. Like,
Yeah.
good, and most of the students are getting it 70% or above, keep it.
And I do
Yeah.
check that, like I try to see.
I think this book is more like on standardized, like on, SAT, like a lot of these tests that are standardized for fairness. Or really, but still, I never even thought of these things, you guys. Okay, what do you think of this question? Okay, I'm not a plant person. This is you, Angela. Kill plants. What's wrong with it?
Too long.
It's too long.
3.
That doesn't look like it's about.
And all of that just to ask what the typical recovery time is.
Yeah.
And then D doesn't make grammatical sense. Like if you're asking
Seldom
what
ever.
is the typical recovery time, seldom ever.
So they seldom ever.
Like rarely.
Yeah, rarely.
But you're asking for time and that's saying they just don't ever, or they often don't. Like
Yeah, what the hell does that mean?
it doesn't, it's not a time, right?
Hell.
It's not like years or something.
No, it's bad. So this is ugly. I'd say that's ugly. Okay, we can say things are ugly. It's okay, guys. Corporal punishment. Ooh. Okay, which stem? We're looking at the stems. Which one is better? One that starts with corporal punishment, or what is corporal punishment? The question mark. Because you just putting that, I immediately panicked when I saw that. That's corporal punishment. But
Could you
question.
rephrase that to be like, which of the following is true about corporal punishment?
Beautiful.
That's like-
That's an action item shell. We call that an item shell.
Okay, like that's probably why I would write it, because I agree, like it just, as it is, it doesn't look great, but I don't hate the question.
At least.
Yeah. Focused, not focused. Okay, good. Okay, this is gonna be the blankety, no, it's not the blankety blank. This is question format. So incomplete stem. I do this. So like blah, blah, blah is a character in Ayn Rand novel who is remembered for his, I usually put like a little colon.
Yeah.
Okay, this is not ideal. It's better like to have a full complete stem with a question. This is completely different over something else, but it's a complete question. So look at your questions. I'm not saying change it all, but what else do they say? It takes more time for them to administer the test and reduces time spent productively answering other questions because they're stuck a little bit on partial sentences. Okay, so that's the avoid incomplete stems. I think this one I was referring to the blankety blank. This is, so I'll get back to blankety blank. I moved to the blankety blank. Okay, how about this? Should we use, I use ones like this.
I do too.
So I don't know the answer because I don't know much about these medicines, but what are we not supposed to be doing? Maybe not the accept. Not too many of these. I have a lot of these. So maybe minimize the amount of these. Right? It's the accept. It's not a bad question. How could we change it? This way. For treating cardiac arrhythmia, which of the following drugs are appropriate? You could do A if it's true, B if it's false. So you still get to see their knowledge. This is the multiple true false. So this is a multiple true false.
The same thing.
It's questioning the same thing in a different format. That's better than the accept, because a lot of them have trouble with, they learn it a certain way and then we're saying, think about it negatively. Without, which one's without? My students struggle with it. I thought that was a good thing. I'm finding out it's not. Okay. Good, bad, or ugly? What do you guys think? Just looking at it. Could we have said that more succinctly? Okay, so it's a little ugly. It's a little, minimize the reading. Okay. All right. And then good options. So for good answers, they usually say 3 to 5 distractors. I'm going to go with probably 3 this semester. 3 really good ones. Okay. 3 good distractors. And then 1 right answer. You should have only 1 right answer and at least 3 distractors. Make sure they don't overlap with each other. That they're you can put one in the other. Okay. Make sure they have similar length and grammatical style. So not one of them kind of stands out. Avoid, this is common sense. Avoid making the correct answer the longest one.
Yeah.
Yeah, because yeah.
AI likes to do that.
Yeah, so we have to be careful. And then replace none of the above or all of the above with actually something that's a specific answer. And then here, I don't do this one. Place them in a logical. So if you're going to have, the options are 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You should write them as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Or in alphabetically as well. We should be putting them alphabetically and numerically in order. Not wild. Yeah.
I have a question. How do you feel about like matching? When I was in college, I had
Matching
some
is good.
professors, do
Yeah.
matching. I love those.
Yeah, they did a lot. They do a whole chapter on like matching, and they say that one's good. I just was going to focus on these ones just because it was too much for me. Because it's already a lot, right? It's a lot. Matching's good though. Oh, but you have to make them matching the same thing. You can't, they say not to change it. Like if you're going to match people with principles, not to do that. Like make it the same, ID, concept. Okay, how about this? So which one's better? The left side for answer or the right side? Which one is so don't worry about answering it because this question doesn't even make sense. It does. This makes no sense. Yes. So it's lined up numerically. Okay, this is not lined up numerically. It's just helping their brain to, it's like, it actually makes sense, like cognitive load. They're going to look at this and go, oh yeah.
It's leading the 0 before the decibels, what is throwing me off
Yeah.
than the order of the answers.
Yeah.
What you got, Sarah?
I'm concerned with the order of the answers thing because especially for like online classes, if you do like Canvas exam, there's the shuffle. And I use the shuffle because lots of times when I like create exam questions, I use like the first answer choice as the correct answer
And then
every
have it
time,
shuffle.
and then I have it shuffle.
I see.
So you would have to like manually.
I think it's fine. I mean, that's the thing is
Yeah.
take this, take this and go, okay. And then go look at how your test is performing.
I mean,
I could do a whole nother workshop on that. Just bring your data and whichever test you want to go over, and we'll figure out which questions are not discriminating well. Okay. Good examples. It's in alphabetical order, right? It's in, this one's just showing you the length. They put the shortest sentence at the top. So it's just easy on the eye, really. Okay. So I don't think about that at all. Half the time when I'm writing an exam last minute, Sunday night, I'm going to send it in Monday. I'm like, I am not thinking,
What you're talking about.
alphabetical.
Then options organized.
Yeah, so short one.
Yeah, but the whole thing about shuffling, I mean, that's what I do.
Shuffle
That's not like,
Yeah.
break all those, so.
Which I don't know how important that, like how, how much is that really causing?
Too, if you're just looking at your questions that are performing poorly and saying, how can I use kind of these things to make those questions better?
This one's bad. So I would go after the worst things, like make sure your questions are clear. This is not clear. These answers are not clear. Why?
Oh, they're all just.
Overlapping. Yeah. So I feel like that's more important. We have, yeah, that's ugly. How are the options? Okay, what do you guys think of these answers? Don't even worry about, do you think that's good?
The principles thing is it's not consistent for the last one, so, yeah.
I could throw them. Some of them are thinking we're actually trying to trick them.
Oh,
Not even thinking about the material. They're like, Milena wants me to do metaphysics. I'm like, no, I don't. I'm not trying to do metaphysics. Okay, what about what's wrong? This is an ugly. Why is this ugly? And I'm guilty of this.
Oh, you don't have the question mark or.
Yeah, the STEM
question.
is not complete.
And STEM's not complete, and also they're gonna go with whichever one just sounds
Grammatically.
correct, and some of them are not grammatically correct.
Yeah, move.
Yeah, beginner is more pace. What the hell? Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know about tennis.
I know that's the thing is yeah.
I wouldn't know if that.
Oh,
was-
you have a chat, Elena.
Oh, I have a chat, Elena. Okay, I'm gonna go up here and go to my little chatty poo. Wee! Thank you, Stacy. Stacy's telling us to just like chill out. Yeah. I just, it's true, but it is something that I'm like, I'm definitely gonna look at my multiple choice. I am gonna keep the ones I like. Yeah, you've been teaching a while, you should keep them. Okay, main thing is, big picture, if you have a flaw in content, not good. Flaw of style, not good. Flaw of formatting, I don't know how big I am on formatting, you know what I mean? But definitely content is bad. You guys agree? So, mistakes are really common. Anywhere from 1/4 to 3/4 of multiple choice questions in a class item bank has mistakes. So, you shouldn't feel bad because most of them have flaws. However, just one day of item writing training can have a significant positive impact. So even just attending this and going, okay, is going to help you write better questions. Yay. Okay, so that's the good news. Caution, if you're going to go online to some of these, have AI write your multiple choice, just use these guidelines again. And because students are doing it too, they're going to AI and asking questions. So as you make your multiple choice questions for exams, this is some of the ideas they had in the book, but I just want to go over item shells real quick. And if you want more ideas on how to make these questions, item modeling is better for like math and certain quantifiable things, but I'm just going to talk about this for a second. And then we're going to go, but here's some of the websites I found. I did sign up for Khan Academy just to see what they have for multiple choice, and they could not load anything for me for microbiology. And then I did biology and it still couldn't load. So I don't know what's going on with the website.
Your credit card.
Yeah, I didn't put in my credit card. I was doing the free trial, but let me show you what,
Well, yeah, it's free.
maybe that's why.
There, but.
Yeah, maybe that's why. Okay, these are item shells. So if you want to take a picture of this or you can Google it, you can always ask it, ChatGPT, hey, give me some good item shells. Here they are. What is the meaning of? What is the characteristic of? These are just the start of different questions you can ask. There were more in the book. I just didn't want to type them all out. What would happen if? What is worse? What better? And so you can start your question like that, and then you just change up whatever material you want to put in there, right? So those are good item shells. I'm going to give you an example how you can use it in medical and health science. You can say, what are the main symptoms of botulism? What are the main symptoms of tetanus? What are the main, right? And that's for understanding. They would have to answer that. Then I could develop it. What's the most common cause, right? Or symptom of somebody with C. diff infection? Okay, it's diarrhea. It's foul smelling diarrhea. But that would be predicting. If I smell this foul smelling diarrhea, it might be C. diff, right? Okay, might be. So you could have them, diagnose a patient, and then we could say, what is the most likely treatment to be effective? Blah, blah, blah. They're applying what they know, right? To a treatment category. And then you could also have another application where you can present any sort of patient problem. So I do a bunch of these in micro. You guys probably do it in A&P. I don't know, in chemistry, you guys have other problems, right? And so item shell provides information about the patient or disease or illness, and then it requires that test taker to make a correct diagnosis, identify correct treatment. So these are application based, but these shells can start with, you can do a vignette and then what is da-da-da, what is da-da-da-da. Now, my problem with that is it then independent or is it dependent questions? I know, I'm creating my own problems. So making item shells, you know, you can find a really good successfully performing test question. Okay, example, 6-year-old child brought to the hospital with contusions over the abdomen and chest as a result of automobile accident. These are the things you can then change out throughout the semesters. Oh, now I have a 46-year-old person that's brought to the hospital with, I don't know, spinal cord trauma, and as a result of riding a bike, right? You can change, you put your backbone of your question and then just change it up, save time. In chemistry, what is the distinguishing characteristic of hydrogen? All right, swap it out for gases, all right? So these shells that if you put in some time now, they can help you with when you don't have time later, right? But I was more just tripping on how all my questions are kind of messed up. Khan Academy, I tried to register, really, I did. They said, you're the expert, so it's called Khan Amigo, okay? And then they were trying to give me my multiple choice quiz and then they failed. So, but I'm sure students are doing this too. They're going in and looking for multiple choice questions. So I would just be careful if you're gonna, when we're writing them, just now we know a little better about it. Okay, so any questions? And also, I appreciate you coming, but Dan wants us to get the feedback from this workshop within 2 hours.
Yeah.
No, I don't know why. Or Kalina, one of them told me that, so I put it there. Okay, but any questions?
We'll try and
Sorry, I kind of kept you right to the moment.
You said you're gonna send us?
Yeah, if you want me to send, so I know all of you, I have your names, I'll just put them down, I'll find you and I'll send you. And here's my references, so Haladina, and then this is the 2020 Assessment in Health Professions Education. Yeah.
You have chats, people.
Okay, chat, thank you, Sarah. Don't rip it apart. Yeah, what do they say about true or false? True, false is okay. It's just, you got to be really careful with how you write the true false, right? So I wouldn't do that many true false. Sorry, I got really hot. My face is on fire.
Do like the always and never. And
Yeah, always, never, stay away from. Really can't be tricky. It has to be very specific.
So never use never.
Never use never.
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 Especially biology.
Rarely, seldom ever use never.
I know, now we're gonna be like, seldom ever do I. Yeah, what you got?
We didn't cover matching, but I love to take a matching question, like 5 or 10 things, but then put more choices. Like matching.
Yeah, they said not to do that. They said to do. No, but they say to keep it the same, even Steven, which is very hard.
I like the extra one.
Right, it's a process of elimination.
Yeah.
Right, so they say not to do that. I know. All of our good ideas suck. Just kidding.
The sequence ones where like only one step is out of place because they should know the.
I know. So keep doing what you're doing, and then maybe we could do a workshop.
I know, yeah.
Like,
Stabs.
send me your exam data. We could do
Actually, if like a big chunk of the class is missing questions, then we'll answer it together. Like I'll put it on the board and I'll have them mostly answer it and I'll guide them if it needs.
Yeah.
Then we can actually, as a class, attest whether it's a good question or not.
We do that too. We'll do the questions together in the lab manual because it's select all that apply.
Yeah.
I didn't write the lab manual, but somebody else did, and they did select all, and it's very hard. And most students would get them all wrong, so we do them together just to kind of help them learn how to think and critically think about it. But I don't know. I think it does help. I think it does help doing it together. But then I'm like, are some people just coasting, right? On not thinking, and then we're doing it for them. So I'm like, let's just do it anyway. But anyway, eat the muffins, okay? Somebody take those. Eat your muffins. And thank you for coming, Jeanette and Becky and Karen and David and Anna. I think other people left.
Good job, Melina.
Everybody. Thank you. Yeah, thank you. I was worried.